Hey guys, Roast Beef here. Today I want to talk to you guys about Vi. Vi is the jungler I use to one-trick my way to plat, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope that I can also one-trick her up to diamond, but, we'll see about that. As always, if you enjoy the video, make sure you like and subscribe. That makes me know you guys want more content like this. And then if you have any questions about the build or anything else, be sure you just ask them in the comments below. So the way this video is going to work out is I'm going to do the runes, the items, and then some basic gameplay tips. And then if you guys watch to the end, make sure you do, because I'm going to try and go over what my secrets to climbing faster were. Alright guys, so now that I've introduced you to the video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the runes that I've run on Vi in the past, that I prefer to run, etc. If I can find out where the button is. Alright, here it is. So, my ideal setup for Vi, what I like to run, is Domination and Precision, but I start with Halo Blades, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, and then Relentless Hunter on the Domination tree. And on the Precision side, I like to do Triumph and Legend Alacrity. Now for this rune setup, you can really swap Halo Blades and Electrocute pretty freely, because they both really play into Vi's style of get in, punch somebody a bunch of times really quickly, and then leave. Maybe you one-shot them, maybe you chunk them, maybe you just pick them and your team can destroy them. But both Halo Blades and Electrocute really play into that style, and you don't have to change anything about this. You keep the Sudden Impact, you keep Eyeball Collection, you keep Relentless Hunter between Halo Blades and Electrocute. Because Sudden Impact just synergizes to all Vi. Because your main way of getting in is either your Q or your R, both of which are dashes. So you deal damage to them when you hit them, and then you get 7 lethality for 5 seconds, which is huge because you get your combo off in that 5 seconds and you leave, and that's just perfect for Vi. I've also liked Eyeball Collection a lot more, rather than Ghost Portal or Zombie Ward. Just because I think that's the best way to go. Zombie Ward has its niceties if you're clearing or dropping a lot of wards, but oh well. And then I like Relentless Hunter the most out of these three because as a jungler, you walk around the jungle a lot. You have to do arguably you have to do the most movement of any people in the game. So having that extra movement speed out of combat is really strong. And then on the precision side, just of these three, Triumph is too good for junglers, along with Legend Alacrity being just what Vi needs. If they've got a lot of hard CC, I might run Legend Tenacity sometimes, but you really feel it, and it's kind of meh. Another pretty decent Vi build that I used to run for the longest time before I swapped to this one was actually the Aftershock Vi build. Aftershock synergizes really well with Vi because after immobilizing a champ, you get a bunch of armor and MR, and that's really strong because it again plays into Vi's jump in, hit somebody a few times, and get out, because that prevents them from really doing anything to you in that time. So you Q them, you auto reset, auto again, and they just get chunked for like a third of their HP, and they hit you back for whatever their stuff is. But because you have Aftershock, they do no damage, and then you like explode and you just walk away. But yeah, for this build, you want to kind of do everything you can to maximize your passive shield, because that makes them do even less damage, and you do even more, because Shield Bash works with your passive shield. And you also run Revitalize because it makes that shield even stronger. And this one is a little bit iffier, but Bone Plating is the best one because it's got a longer cooldown, so you can reset it between ganks. And someone hits you once, and then the next 3 spells or attacks, whatever they do, hit you, deal 30 to 60 less, which is huge. So you already have a big shield with a Shield Bash proc on it. Shield's made even larger. You have extra armor and MR, and they do 30 to 60 less damage. So this is just like you're crazy tanky for those first 1.5, 2.5 seconds when you have Aftershock on. And then you just run Triumph and Alacrity again, because that's just too good. The one build that kind of differs a bit for Vi is the Conqueror build, and I don't like it as much. I tried it a couple times, and it wasn't my cup of tea. My favorite by far is Halo Blades. I like this sudden impact, the quick punches you get out. But if you were going to run Conqueror, obviously you start with Conqueror. Conqueror's thing is you stay in combat for an extended period of time, and then you can start healing off of that time you're in combat. And you kind of run a just heal a lot. This is kind of just a excessive healing kind of build. So you start with Conqueror, you run Triumph because you want to be proccing the extra gold and the heals when you get a takedown. You run Alacrity, and then you run Coup de Grace because you want to be able to execute people when they're low HP. And then Taste of Blood gives you a lot of extra healing when you damage somebody, and Ravenous Hunter allows you to heal a lot off of your abilities. Like I said, I don't like this build that much, but you know, to each their own. This lets you run a more bruiser Vi. I mean, Vi is a really good bruiser anyways, but this lets you be even. This lets you fight for an extended period of time. Usually Vi wants to get in, trade real quick, and get out. That's the way she fights best, but this lets you really get that extended fight in there if your team really needs that. Alright, let's finish up the runes. Next we'll get on to items. Alright, so when it comes to items, Vi's got a pretty simple build path without a whole ton of variation to it. Obviously, you're going to adapt it some based on the enemy's main damage comp type and how strong their CC is, but that's really about it. Like, 9 out of 10 games, well, every game you get Machete, Refillable, and Warding Trinket. That's just your starting 3. I'd like to drop my ward at about a minute 10 back and get that Oracle Lens just so I can sweep for wards on my first gank, but that's up to you. But you're going to try and rush into a Blue Smite Warriors Enchantment. Once you get that build, you're going to want to run Trinity Force, and for Trinity Force, I really like to get the Phage first, because it gives me that health, attack damage, and the extra move speed when I auto something, which is really nice for tracing people, especially if you don't have your boots done yet. Once your Trinity's done, you can go into Death Dance, you can go into Sterix, you can even go into GA. Really, it's just kind of how you feel about it at this point. If you're pretty far ahead, I'll go into Death Dance. If I'm kind of far behind and I'm getting blown up, I'll go into Sterix. And then I'll get the other one, and then GA if the game goes that long. And then on Boots, it's really just going to be, do they have a lot of hard, like if 4 out of 5 of them have hard CC, I'm going to get the Tenacity just because you need it. Doesn't matter what their damage type is, and if let's say I get the Merc Treads, then I might get like an extra armor item or like just a cloth armor or something. And then if they've got 3 or 4 auto attackers, I'm going to get the Ninja Tabby just because it blocks 12% of the damage from basic attacks, and that's huge. And the only really situational things I'll do is based on their strongest damage type. Because you have a Death Stance giving you 30 armor and MR, and you've got a decent amount of health from your items, and sometimes instead of one of these, usually the Sterix, I will get either the Dead Man's or the Adaptive, depending on if they're full AD or full. This is if they're like full AD or full AP or 4 out of 5 kind of situation, because these just make you so much stronger. Like, this reduces the magic damage from that same spell effect by 20%, just 20% straight off the damage, which is huge. And you also have a bunch of HP, CDR, and MR off of this, whereas Dead Man's gives you a bunch of armor, and you know how you kind of, I'll talk about this when I get into the gameplay section, but this really lets you queue into somebody, knock some airborne, and then you hit them right away, and if you've got that full charges of momentum, it'll slow the target by a huge amount, so they can't try and escape. And if they flash out, you just follow with your R. So it's really strong. Yeah, so that's really all I have to say about the items. It's not going to really change. Like all the rune pages that I've tried, this build really covers them all. It's really nice. It's also nice having the 40% CDR off of just 3 items. That's one of my favorite parts about this build. But yeah, so now onto the gameplay. Alright, so now I've gone over runes and items, gone over the little introduction, and I just want to talk to you guys about the main gameplay for Vi. So, you're not really an engaged fighter, because your stuff is all about a quick little burst. I wouldn't call you an assassin. You're a mix between an assassin and a bruiser, which is, I like the playstyle, honestly. But your main combo is going to be full charge Q into an auto, E to reset that auto, another auto, and then E for a final, and that just does a nice chunk of damage. I'll try and show it over here. So you charge up your Q, hit, and you can just see the DPS is really strong. I kind of got distracted there with my words, but it's fine. Again, it's full charge Q, auto E, and then R if they try and escape. Oh, I didn't have my ability up there. That's embarrassing. Um, but you can actually also save your R for when they escape. That's the primary thing. So like, you go at someone, you hit them, or they flash out. Your R has about as long, or a little bit longer range than Flash does. So like you can see, it's actually got a decent range. So if they dodge your Q, or if they immediately dash or flash away, and if they don't get too close to tower, you can R after them. The one thing you want to be careful of is what they're flashing or taking a threshold or whatever to, because if you are someone and they go anywhere, you follow them. Now, if they base or something weird like that, I think it cuts you off after a little bit, but there have been many times where I die because I've R onto an Ezra right here, he E's, he flashes, gets threslanded, and then I'm standing in the middle of three of them and I just get destroyed immediately. Another fun thing about Vi is you can actually hit your Q from really far away by flash queuing. Now, theoretically, you can charge up your Q and flash with it and do the knockup, but it's difficult. So, like, I prefer not to do that. So, like, I landed it there, but I gotta move this one now. Where's it at? Spawn target dummy. Not that. Enemy dummy. But that's just way too hard, in my opinion, to land. I mean, you can do it, but it's never been worth it really for me. Like, all the opportunities I've had, I'd much rather just flash Q, which looks like this. So you get your Q fully charged up, and then you flash and Q, and you're just there right away. Because Vi's got a pretty quick travel speed on her Q, and that flash Q catches people off guard. You can get really fast and you like go over other walls and stuff, but then you have not a lot of time to try and adjust to where they are. Because target dummies stay nice and still for you, but people don't. And Vi's Q will hit up to that last little bit there. So you can see how that little, the indicator didn't really make it there, but it will hit it just barely sometimes. So if you really want to max range stuff, that's the way to do it. And if someone's like way out of position and your team is close by, but they're not close enough to make a play, you can actually flash Q and R to get some crazy distance. So let's say I know someone's right around here, and you don't want to do this very often, because if you screw up, you blew your flash, you blew your R, and you can just... I'm going to try and get these guys a little bit further this way. So like, I know someone's over here. I mean, we know they're right there, but you can use this Q or flash QR to catch people out that are way out of position B, because if you do it and they're not way out of position, you're going to be out of position and you're just going to get killed. And your team's going to be like, wow, Vi, they're going to do this and they're going to do this a lot, except those are going to be on cooldown because you just died, because you just inted, because it can be stupid. Yeah, I might try and find some gameplay examples of this, but yeah. Again, Vi's main thing is Q, auto, oh damn it. I hate Scuttlecrab because it doesn't pick it sometimes, but it's Q, auto, E, auto, E. And you can just see that damage it was 397 DPS. Another good thing is, Vi really likes to take early dragons. At level 4, you can take dragon without any issue because of your passive shield. The one thing when you do it is make sure you're using this all the time. Every third auto you can lower it, and yeah, if you use your E to get that shield while the cooldown's still up, it will not work. But if it's up, so right now you can see it's up. I screwed that up. There's not enough time now. But if the cooldown is done and you use your E if you hit that third proc, the cooldown starts out lowered, which is really nice. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, I'm dumb. Alright, that's enough of me trying to show you how to play Vi with this. Now I'm going to go into some gameplay clips where I look cool. So, one of the simple things you can do as Vi is look around the map for enemies who are overextended. So, usually past the center of the wave, near this rocky outcropping for top lane, same thing for bot lane. And if they're under half HP, and they don't have many escapes in their kit, which in Mordekaiser level 3, who has just used all his cooldowns, doesn't have any besides flash, you just walk up, you start charging your Q once you're in good range, And then you can just kind of wait for them to flash, because they're probably going to flash trying out maneuver you, and you can just kill them really easy. I'm just going to try and look for more highlights in this game real quick. That's not one. This is kind of one, but kind of not really. This is just how you can almost always go for early drags. So I have my team helping me here for this one. But you don't really need it. If, as Vi, you've gone back and bought, which I haven't, but if you have the first jungle item plus refillable pots, once you're level 4, you can just do it every time. Take dragon at level 4. And depending on your elo, that has varying results. In really low elo, it works every time because no one ever puts a ward on drag. But the higher elo you go, the worse it gets. This looks like I'm going to visit Mordekaiser again. He's overextended. He's about to finish him off, but he doesn't know I'm there yet. I'm probably going to flash Q. No, I don't have to. Yeah, so he actually tried to outplay me, and because of that, he died. Like, I don't even... Did I have flash up there? I didn't have flash. So if he just walked in a straight line away from me, he would have gotten away, because he was out of range there. Nothing here. Nope. I wish I could see some I was involved with. Oh, such a bad dragon fight. Oh boy, I'm bad about these because I try to go for dragon fights constantly. Yeah, I shouldn't be here anymore, but of course I am because I'm dumb. Next fight. So again, this Mordekaiser overextended. Now he's a little bit higher HP, so he can actually fight me a good bit here. So I gotta be a little bit careful. But I can take care of him because I'm strong enough. Jax is on his way though, so let's see. It looks like I might die here. We'll find out. I guess he didn't leap, so he just kind of burned his flash, so that was cool. But yeah, I don't want to fight that at all because Vi can execute people really well. And then once she gets some items later, she can fight well. But until then, she's kind of iffy. See, I don't really want to go him because he beats me in the extended fight, and I can't end the fight quick enough for it to not be extended. Let's go see what happens here. And Kali's pretty low HP. Do I have my Q? I have my R. I just got my R, and I have my Q, so it looks like I'm going to help here. And actually smited her there because I was worried she was going to kill the Ahri, which I'm very happy. That's one of the reasons I like Blue Smite, is because if you need just a little bit more damage, you can hit him with it. Like, it does 108 damage. And so I don't want to press R on her because then Zillion gets away, but I also don't want to let her kill him because she's about to auto her smite. Akali lives just barely, I think. Yeah. Lives with like 68 HP. So that was pretty close. I just go top and I kill Mordekaiser again because he gets greedy for the tower. Yeah, he's just dead. You just can't. He's too low there. The only downside is I lose drag because of it. And Twitch was... I can see why Twitch doesn't want to pressure him, but it kind of sucks that we lose drag here. Alright. But yeah, Vi's main role is you pick people off. You don't really get in extended fights. You are there to pick people off. Because extended fights are not what Vi wins. And that was the flash Q I was talking about. You can just CC and I can't really do anything about it. It's great. And if you have teammates that can follow up on that with some nice CC, it's just over. Where have I gone here? Oh, there's a bunch of fights happening. Is this where I 1v1 Jax because I'm fed? It is. Yeah, so like, look. I brought Jax down to half HP before he could do anything. He can do nothing at all. He blue smites me and then doesn't get his stun off, so I can just R to him. He jumps, doesn't matter, and I'm there with him. Usually, you want a full charger Q, because that gives you the most damage, but you can also just tap it if they're really close for a quick little knockup. And that gets more else off. This looks like a bunch of... Oh, there's more stuff right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go bot and kill Mordekaiser. Nice. Oh, it looks like Mordekaiser just killed Twitch. But it's okay. Oh, he doesn't know I'm here either. Oh, bless his heart. Alright, but yeah, I think that's enough of the Vi gameplay. Rush Dragons, Flash Q, you guys do great. That's all I've got for this video, I think. So leave a like, subscribe, and comment for any questions you have. GG boys. Go carry with Vi.